Everyone is addicted to something, whether it's drugs, alcohol, smoking, social media, pornography, consumption, or countless other habits. Most people genuinely want to break free, but they often find themselves unable to. The natural abilities of observation, introspection, and analysis exist in all of us. These abilities do raise questions, but the trap of addiction often blocks honest answers, especially in the absence of self honesty. It's a complex non-linear trap which can feel difficult to escape, but no matter how hard it seems, it's not impossible. Awareness is the key to breaking free. Many of us who are struggling have asked these questions again and again, and many of those answers have been shared before. Here, we are simply trying to explore them in different, simpler way. We are here to support one another. We'll keep diving deeper into this topic as much as we can. Alright, let's begin. The persistence of a harmful urge despite suffering is a sign of deep conditioning within the body's biological and psychological systems. Initially, behaviors begin through curiosity, influence, or exposure. Over time, repetition causes the brain and body to associate certain emotions like boredom, stress, or restlessness with specific responses, even if those responses lead to more pain. The body operates in auto mode when conditioned responses dominate. These reactions resemble an autoimmune process where the system harms itself without realizing it. The suffering becomes normalized and the behavior continues despite conscious awareness of its damage. Reversing this requires direct conscious communication with the body. Begin questioning the urge in real time. What are you giving me? The answer often reveals itself as increased suffering, not relief. Alongside this awareness, new bodily habits must be introduced: exercise, reading, sleep regulation, and nourishment. Because a restless or weakened body amplifies cravings. Mental justifications will emerge. These are not real insights, but strategies to return to the old pattern. Each time they arise, return to observation, not reaction. Real change happens when both body and mind are reconditioned through consistent awareness. Justifications are mental strategies formed by the brain to protect old conditioning. These thoughts often appear logical and reasonable, but they are rooted in past associations, emotional habits, and biological reinforcement. The process begins with a physical or emotional trigger, such as restlessness or fatigue. If the brain has been trained to respond to that state with a particular action, it will begin generating reasons to return to the habit. These reasons may sound intelligent or convincing at that time, but they serve the same pattern. For example, thoughts like just once, let's find out what happens, or everyone does it, are not genuine insights. They are defensive reactions of a conditioned system trying to maintain itself. The solution is not to suppress these thoughts, but to observe them immediately as they arise. Train the mind to pause and ask, where did this thought come from? What memory or emotion is it connected to? Is this reaction based on clarity or habit? This isn't a one time act. Introspection must become a moment to moment process. With time, the brain begins recognizing these patterns as false signals rather than truths. This sharpens clarity, not only in breaking habits but also in navigating other areas of life. The feeling of being weak arises from comparison, either with others or with an idealized version of yourself. This comparison creates a false narrative that your struggle is abnormal or shameful, while others are unaffected. But in truth, most people carry unspoken struggles. What differs is whether they choose to examine them honestly or not. This path is not about appearing strong, it is about being honest. Honest enough to ask difficult questions about behavior, identity, and conditioning. Recognizing and questioning internal patterns takes far more strength than simply confirming or hiding them. Your struggles are not a reflection of weakness, but of unexamined influences from society, media, biology, and upbringing. These forces have shaped your responses without your awareness. True change begins when you stop labeling yourself as weak and begin observing your inner world objectively. No one else can do this for you. The clarity you gain through self inquiry becomes your strength, not how well you compare to others. There is a profound connection between awareness, wisdom, and body's behavior. While awareness is often thought of as mental state, it influences the entire system: nervous, emotional, and even physical. The body operates through trained biological mechanisms. These include hormonal cycles, neurotransmitter activity, and memory patterns shaped by past behavior. Over time, these form a feedback loop where repeated urges lead to repeated actions, which further strengthen the body's conditioned responses. Wisdom, which is true inner clarity, interrupts this loop. As awareness deepens, reactivity begins to slow down. One observes before reacting, questions before acting. This shift reduces impulsive responses and gradually retrains the body. In scientific terms, this is often linked to the brain's executive functions like impulse control and decision making. Even without full scientific validation, direct observation reveals the transformation. The body begins to respond differently, not by force, but by insight. This is not separation, but a natural reorganization of a behavior through clarity. It is natural to fill this gap between intellectual understanding and inner clarity. Language has limitations. As soon as something deep is put into words, some of its essence is lost. Then, as those words pass through the filters of your mind, shaped by memory, emotion, and personal bias, the original meaning gets altered even more. Understanding at the surface level is not the same as seeing with inner clarity. Real insight takes time, repetition, and observation. It cannot be rushed or forced. Also, clarity does not come by blindly following anyone. It comes when you become your own observer. When your awareness begins questioning not just what you said, but how your mind interprets it. Restlessness and confusion often arise because the brain is still identifying with old patterns of suffering. As long as that identification remains, awareness will feel like something external. But the more you observe without judgment, the more you begin to see that awareness is not separate. It is your deeper intelligence waiting to be uncovered. Suffering feels like the self because it is repeated so often that the mind begins to identify with it. Emotional pain, anxiety, guilt, and restlessness become familiar experiences. Over time, the brain treats them as part of one's identity, something constant, something personal. On the other hand, awareness is silent. It doesn't demand attention. It doesn't speak in urgency. So when the body is deeply caught in emotional reaction, the stillness of awareness seems distant or unfamiliar. This creates a gap. The reactive self feels close and real, while the observing self feels abstract or unreachable. But the truth is opposite. The reactive identity is temporary and shaped by memory. Awareness is not separate. It is the unchanging space in which all thoughts, reactions, and sensations appear. Through continuous observation and self inquiry, the identification with suffering begins to dissolve. Slowly, one begins to see that awareness was never far away. It was simply overshadowed by constant emotional engagement. As this shift happens, the sense of who I am begins to change. Nothing is 100% truth. When we put our experiences, knowledge, and interpretations into language, they lose some of their original intent. Yet they are still useful because they help convey a significant amount of meaning. What I share through sentences, words might sound confident, as if what's being said is the final truth or conclusion. But please understand, to express something in words, it has to take a certain structure, and that often makes it seem more definite than it truly is. I share these thoughts because to me, they seem relatively more accurate within the framework of thought experiments. But they are not absolute. Please treat these reflections as a part of shared experiment, not as unquestionable truths. Everyone can introspect and find answers to their questions. These are just perspectives to provoke thought, and in the end, observe, analyze, and introspect, always with honesty.